Good morning and happy 4th of July, Salty, Texas. Back for the 4th of July project 2021. It is 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas. Hope everybody's having a great 4th of July weekend. I am currently out of town, but did have time to make a 4th of July themed project using some silicone molds that I picked up on Amazon and some red, white, and blue glitter. This is going to turn out amazing, and you guys are going to like the catastrophic failure a little bit later in the video. So, got these silicone molds, picked them up on Amazon, have seen some other wood turners do some silicone molds and intricately put them in their projects, and I thought, I can do this. I'm at that level. So, got some red, white, and blue glitter. You've seen me use those in some other projects. Simply filling the molds. Going to do every color. And then we're gonna, put them in the pressure pot, see what we get. So we ended up putting them in the pressure pot. This is my first time doing this, and some of them came out pretty well. We had like really cool little like cube chunks or square chunks, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Not a whole lot of problems with those. White ones turned out really good. They look like pearl a little bit. I'm thinking this is gonna turn out great and awesome. However, when I stacked them, they are now on this wooden board, and I didn't think that through, so I had to bust out the Dremel and put the disc on it and get all this off. And you can see all the dirt and the dust and everything kind of like flying off of that. So wear your respirator, people. I had to wear mine. You should always wear your respirator. Safety, people, safety. Anyway, so once we got all of those kind of off, I actually ended up using the 4.5-inch grinder to try to get them off and couldn't do it. So got everything cleaned up eventually, got everything washed, had to get all the dirt and everything off, vacuum cleaned and everything off. So everything's nice, clean, getting in the bucket. 2.5 quart we're using for this one. So not a very large bowl, but bigger than some of the smaller projects that I've done. So stacked it up, red, white, and blue, of course, because it's 4th of July. Gotta have to, stay on theme here. So got the waste block in the middle, 2.5 or 3.5 hours in the pressure pot. East Coast resin on this one. Also the cubes are East Coast resin as well. And pretty happy with the casting. Crystal clear, looking really good. Like the way everything formed up. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is actually looking pretty cool. So everything is nice, shiny. I love that glitter. It just absolutely sparkles. It looks just like flake in the project, in the bowl. So really happy with that. So got everything glued up, put the waste block on. Now we're just going to put the faceplate on it and screw that in nice and neat, as you can see there. And spoiler alert, well actually I'm not going to spoil it, but if you've watched my videos for any amount of time, you probably already know what the catastrophic failure is going to be. So heads up. So got everything labeled or leveled up, got everything on there nice and even. Thinking, okay, pretty cool. So came in initially, hit it with the, just the bowl gouge, chisel, as we usually will do. Getting pretty good ribbons off of the project initially. Not a whole lot of wonkiness. Just trying to make everything nice and even. Coming back, hitting it with the round carbide tool. And this is actually a newer carbide tool. You guys will see a little bit later on in the year. I have a video where I end up breaking my original one. But getting good shavings off. The casting is really well. So I know I got a good piece of resin on this one. You can see the ribbon just flying off. Don't have that crazy glass type protrusions like we typically will get. And if you're asking why in the world am I wearing a heavy duty welding jacket, it's because you guys haven't seen the video yet, but I ended up making I did another project and I got like obliterated with like shards of like epoxy that just hit me in the chest. And it's like, as you know, we're going through a heat wave in the south and in Texas because it's hot as hell, as always in the summer. So it's about 120 degrees and it's about 140 degrees with this jacket on. So that's why I'm wearing that, if you guys are just curious. I just got tired of the shards of epoxy hitting me in the chest, and it makes me flinch, and it really affects my wood turning. So that's why I'm wearing it. It's more protection than anything else. And yes, I know they make protective clothing for wood turners, but this is all I had, and I wanted to get this done before I end up going on my 4-day weekend. So long story short, got everything nice and even the way I want. Now we're just coming down and, rounding off the bottom like we usually will do. Trying to get that nice even base before we start making a tenon or a mortise. I want to say mortise. I'm having a brain fart. Mortise or tannin? I think it's a mortise. Correct me in the comments. You guys do it anyway. So anyway, here we go. This is going to be a little bit funny, and I'm going to stop talking during this part because... yeah, a little bit of cussing there. So it ended up flying off the lathe. So long story short, I had to come back, start all over again because now it's unbalanced. So when you rearrange the faceplate, the balance that you had previously isn't there. So you have to come back, put a new piece of scrap on the top of it, and put the faceplate back on and come back and round everything out. Because if you're going to make the mortise on the bottom, you have to have everything nice and even. So, you know, frustrated as hell, but I'm going, we're going to do this. We're going to get this done. I'm not going to quit on this one because this is such a good piece of just resin blank, and I don't want to waste it. So that was the big hiccup. As if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you always know that I have always had an issue with things flying off my lathe. So wear your safety equipment, people, because I got super frustrated and obviously was cursing up a storm, as you can tell there. But I curse on my, you know, channel, so a lot of woodworkers don't, a lot of YouTubers don't, but it wouldn't be authentic if I didn't, you know, act my own personality and censor myself. So anyway, got everything nice and even. I'm pretty secure with how the mortise is now. So now we're just coming back and finishing that out so we can reverse it on the chuck and start the gouging process. And luckily everything held up nice and smooth. Not a lot of issues. Fit the chuck on there. Just doing a little bit of finishing work, and we're almost there. And I'm just grateful that piece of that giant block, when it fell off, didn't hit me in the face. So at this point, we're doing pretty well. Usually I will just go ahead and use a chisel to get that waste block off, but I decided, since this is kind of an elongated piece of epoxy, I didn't want to impact it more than I had to. So I just came back and just used a chisel, and now I'm just taking the round carbide tool, finishing off that superficial layer before we start the gouging process. And this part went relatively well, not a whole lot of issues here. Everything's nice and smooth, nice and even, so pretty happy with how this part turned out. So now we get to the gouging part. So this is a little bit, if you've watched some of my other videos, usually the base where the headstock is a little bit wider. So I feel like the center of gravity in this one is a little bit off and elongated, only because it's a lot longer pot. So when I was doing the gouging for this part, I really took my time, went really slow, and you won't see a lot of the gouging here because it took so long. It took me about 2 hours to gouge out this this bowl from start to finish, only because I just took small, methodical steps in doing this. I switched between the round, the regular chisel, the regular gouging chisel, and my round carbide tool. Did not use the square carbide a lot. Really took my time. Really was methodical about this, like I said, because I was so afraid that if I gouged too hard or I hit a piece, it was going to literally fly off and break off on the headstock. And I've had that happen before, where the mortise just explodes and then I'm just left with like nothing. So really took my time, tried to minimize my frustration with this project, and had a lot of good shavings. Like I said, it was a good piece of epoxy, and overall taking my time and being methodical was the smart move, because it really helped the end project. And now we're just gouging out to the bottom, trying to get to a nice depth, trying to just, you know, get as far to the bottom as you possibly can without really compromising the integrity of the bowl. Because hint hint, there's a project later on in the year that I did that I went too deep and it blew up in my face. So I'm learning from my mistakes. Like I said, a lot of these videos aren't in the order that I did them in. This is just a holiday theme bowl, so these are a little bit more current. But I'm learning from my mistakes, and this really showed in this project by, you know, just taking my time and just being really methodical with it. So here we are, about to be finished, still wearing that heavy ass coat, sweating up a storm in the garage. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with it. Here's the end of the gouging process. You can see here just wood shavings everywhere. It's just one bowl. It's always amazing how many shavings there are with just one bowl. I'm always amazed by that. So here we are, nearly done. Almost there. So now we're just doing our sanding, going from 220 on this one all the way up to 1500, and then coming back and hitting it with the micro mesh. So obviously this is the next day because the sun's out, guns out, and it was a little bit wonky, and I was tempted to go back with the flat skew and flatten this out, but I decided against that and just sanded out some of those imperfections. So here we are hitting it with the micro mesh like we usually will do, looking really good and shiny. It looks like a bomb pop, like those popsicles. I forget what they're called. I think I used to call them bomb pops when I was a kid, but here we are hitting it with that wood wax, getting that nice clean shine to it. Really love this red, white, and blue theme. Looks absolutely amazing. Really happy with how this turned out. And here's the finished project right here. Wish I had a little bit more blue in it. Wish it was a little bit more, precise on top. But you get the overall theme. Red, white, and blue. Looks really good. I'm happy with it. This is our first time using those silicone molds. So hope you guys enjoyed the project. Hope everybody's having a good 4th of July. And I'll see you guys in the next project. I'll let you get back to fireworks, hot dogs, and all that fun stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace. Okay, so project is done. And here we are, our 4th of July 2021 bowl. I wish I had more blue on top. Obviously, the white part turned out good. The red turned out good. But not exactly what I had envisioned. However, I was just happy that we were able to create something patriotic for 4th of July. So this video obviously came out today. It is 4th of July. Today is not 4th of July. Today is the 24th of June, 2021. So a little quick update. If you made it to this part of the video, there's going to be a new shop. Actually, I'm getting out of my garage, but anyway, we'll discuss that a little bit later on in the year. So I have videos scheduled all the way into the end of the year. This is one of the more recent projects. So like I said, today is June 24th of 2021. You guys are going to watch this on the 4th of July. Hope everybody's having a nice, safe 4th of July, celebrating. And that's basically it. I'll let you guys get back to hot dogs, fireworks, and all that fun stuff. But overall, real happy the way it turned out. Like I said, not exactly what I had envisioned, but it looks pretty cool. Really happy with it. So hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.